everyone to the Mindful Magazine channel. I'm so happy you're all with us here today again. Today I have with me Jordan Ashley from Souljourn Yoga. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. For everyone, could you maybe introduce yourself and could you tell everyone a little bit what your journey was towards Souljourn Yoga and what it stands for?
Sure. I'm Jordan Ashley. I'm the founder of Souljourn Yoga, and we're a U.S. nonprofit, and our whole purpose is to raise funds and awareness for girls' education in developing countries by hosting global yoga retreats in developing countries, and then partnering with sister organizations on the ground to ensure that we are constantly using this idea of Sava, which is a Sanskrit word for giving back or together with, to empower women and promote girls' education.
Okay, very nice. And how did you get this idea? Were you a yoga teacher already when you started this, or did it just, how did it start?
So, my background is in journalism and also yoga as well, which is such an interesting combination. I lived in Southeast Asia and was a reporter in Cambodia and in Thailand, and then I moved back to New York and I finished my teacher training while I was freelancing. And I wanted to create a platform that involved global travel, the practice of yoga, and then also this idea of being able to support a girl's education in places where it's not a sure thing per se, or where there are obstacles and trials and tribulations attached to it, just as a way to continue to expand the global yoga community.
Okay, very interesting. That's how you see, life, you never know where it goes. You start as a journalist, and then you end up as a yoga teacher, and then you end up combining all your knowledge all together. And where are the retreats organized, and how does it work? So where can people find the retreats, and how does that connect with the communities?
So we are currently in 7 countries on 4 continents. So we've been running now, let's see, this year will be the 4th year that we've done Peru. So it's our longest retreat that we've had and operated, as well as our 3rd year that we've done Morocco. And then we have a bunch of other retreats that it's our 2nd year, such as Cambodia, Tibetan Plateau. Super excited. So we have a website, so you can take a look at that, and that has the whole itinerary and a breakdown of what each person will be experiencing. And then we also include a $300 to $500 tax-deductible donation that goes to our sister organization on the ground, who we will be partnering with and meeting with through a mutual exchange. So that could be a yoga class, it could be an art project, it could be making lunch together. So the idea was also to change the way that people give as well, because oftentimes you'll be asked to donate money and you're not really sure like where it is exactly going towards or who it is specifically serving. So it was also this idea to have it be a more integral and communal experience as well.
Oh, I think that's really fantastic. When you donate the money, as you said, you never really know where it's going. I mean, the money is going somewhere, and you never know what actually does happen with the money. So yeah, I think it's a really great initiative what you're doing. How do you interact with the women, and what has been your experience? What has been the experience that you have seen after the money was donated? How did women progress?
Sure. As I mentioned, we have at least 1 to 6 opportunities to connect with the girls and women on the ground. So our focus is girls' education initiatives. So that usually looks like a girls' dormitory or a school. So somewhere in which these amazing young women have already been extracted from their homes. So that could be that there wasn't access to education otherwise. That could mean that, they were unfortunately exposed to other risk factors, be it trafficking or child marriage. So, these amazing young women have already been kind of taken out of the worst and now have an opportunity to be able to excel and reach their highest human potential. So we love supporting them. We love visiting the same places every single year. And then slowly but surely we begin to add on, like we're doing South Africa in January 2020. And I've also kind of expanded my personal work to engaging in other populations such as genocide survivors, like in Rwanda. And so we just use this idea of yoga or as union just to create an experience of togetherness. Yeah. So, it's not about healing, it's not about saving, it's just about being able to connect to someone who you might not necessarily have met had you not been on one of our retreats or immersions. So I'm a big believer in this idea of global community, right? We're all global citizens. Doesn't really matter where you're from, especially as women. We, to varying, degrees, have had similar experiences and, a myriad of emotions, joy, pain, loss, happiness. So just being able to connect on, a different level.
Yeah. Oh, that's really great. I saw the article on your website about that you went to the women from the genocide. How was that experience for you? What did you feel when you were with them in the room? And how did it feel for you?
It was the most humbling thing I've ever done, hands down. And it wasn't even so much of having to teach or having to show them, more advanced physical yoga. It was just this idea of being able to connect body and mind and heart or spirit together, just to be able to have an opportunity to move freely and, be able to express oneself. It was really incredible too, because a lot of the women were a lot older, and it was extremely emotional because, they were, given the space to just kind of, be in their own bodies without having to have any kind of, there wasn't an end goal. They were just able to move freely. And sorry, just to backtrack about the question you'd asked about the funds. So I mentioned, we include 300 to 500 per person. So that goes towards scholarships, that goes towards books, that goes towards uniforms, that goes towards food. An example of how powerful just a small donation can be seen very simply. We did a retreat to Nicaragua last year and supported Up Nicaragua, which is this amazing girls' education after school initiative. And they provide support and tutoring and coding. And, it's a great after school program. So just from that retreat alone, we were able to provide 8 scholarships for a semester, which was great, as well as books, food, tutoring, supplies. So a little really does go a long way.
Oh, that's really fantastic. And is that scholarships, because what kind of age do the women have that the sport goes to? And is it for university or is it for high school? How do I see that?
So it depends which organization. So for instance, Up Nicaragua, that's predominantly secondary education. But we work with other organizations in which they do have university programs, such as our sister organization, EGRC, or Educating Girls of Rural China. So the funds can go towards university or towards high school as well. So it's really making sure that there is additional support after secondary education.
Okay. Oh, that sounds. And I was wondering, could people donate even though they don't go to the retreats?
Yes, absolutely. We have a donate button on our site. We ourselves are 501c3, so a little does go a long way, just even in terms of us being able to expand our projects and our work. So the more the merrier. There's different ways to engage with us as well. So really, the sky's the limit.
Oh. And how many retreats do you do in a year? And usually, how many people do you have in a group? And is it just you doing the retreat, or do you have a team that you work with?
So we do between 5 and 7 retreats a year. It started off with me and my dear friend. Her name's Allison Riazi. She's a Chicago-based yoga teacher. And now it's expanded. So we are working with teachers who volunteer their time and their energy from Los Angeles to New York, even to London this coming year. So I feel really blessed and really honored to be working with such amazing women from across the globe who are so dedicated to helping and giving their time and their energy. Oftentimes the retreats are over, a bank holiday. So it really is a dedication and a commitment as well. So I'm super grateful, super lucky to have such amazing women volunteer with us.
Yeah, I can imagine, and how great you must feel that you're actually, it's definitely a service what you're doing, and that you get to face yourself all the results that come from the yoga and the teaching that you do, that you actually see the whole circulation of the money flowing and where it ends. I think that's really wonderful, because maybe in some cases money does circulate, but you never really know where it ends. So I think it's really amazing that you have such an open organization in which people can actually enjoy their time and have go on a retreat, which I think nowadays is something that many people are looking for. So it's for their own inner balance, but then also by doing that you support other people at the same time. So I really think that you created something so nice surrounded by this subject. And also, what do you think now, because we're talking a bit about the empowerment of women, and I think there is a bit of a rise coming right now with women starting to empower themselves. What do you think in general, worldwide, what could women do to empower themselves a bit more?
Oh, well, thank you. That's all very kind of you to say, and I'm very, very appreciative for this opportunity to be able to speak with you today. I think if someone is perhaps born in the West, or, from a socioeconomic background, or lands themselves in a position in which they do have time or finances or even energy to be able to volunteer or kind of go outside their natural periphery to engage with populations where education isn't a given, where it really is something that is the fork in the road to determining the scope and landscape of someone's existence. That's my passion, but that might not be yours. Another passion in terms of engagement of women might be working with populations who have been trafficked, or working with populations who have come from domestic abuse backgrounds. So there's lots of different ways to give and to engage. Even we have this big sister little sister program in the States. So making yourself available to a young woman or girl who maybe doesn't have the home life to support any kind of academic endeavors, or just a way to kind of engage and be a role model, I think is all really important. I think, the opportunity to be able to travel, doesn't take a lot in terms of packing, sanitary napkins or, some pens and notebooks as well. So, anytime someone is going to a place where, those items where we take very much, for granted on a daily basis, might not be so easy to come by. I think any kind of that mindfulness is really important.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Like we just have everything right in our hands, and sometimes we don't even realize that for other people it's not so easy to get Yeah, even a small thing like a pen or writing something down, or maybe, I don't know, if something breaks, we think, okay, it's fine, we can buy something new. But
Yeah, no, absolutely.
it's because I traveled a little bit myself, and also to Latin America. And when I was there, I saw some of the villages were so far away, and for them to get something new, even if they could afford to buy it, they had to go for days. They have to go take the bus, maybe really far out, come back. How do you carry all these things, and for how long do you need it? So probably, or no, I would say it's definitely true that traveling opens the mind. Traveling outside of resorts and outside of the comfort zone, I think it really opens the eyes of people. And I think that your retreats bring that at the same time. So I think that's very nice. And so this is the way of how people can empower each other. But do you think by empowering other people, you empower yourself? Or what do you think, because many women in the world face maybe a bit of insecurity, or they're afraid to speak up? Do you have any tips that would maybe make them come a bit more forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is, born with certain, everyone is born under different circumstances, and we do our best under those circumstances to kind of live our best life, or our best version of our life. So I think, from the get-go, kind of having that kind of introspection is really a blessing, in that, to keep, growing and expanding and opening your mind and opening your heart. I think it's important to have a support system, be it your friends or your family or your colleagues. So, if someone is going to be more forward, I think it's important to know that they're supported in their actions, and also that, they're not alone as well. I mean, we talk about this rise in feminism, and how more so than ever, be it movements such as Time's Up, or the Women's March that we've seen globally now, which is such a phenomenon. Now is the time to truly break the glass ceiling. And what's so incredible about that is it's not just, it's women of all ages. It's women from different backgrounds or different walks of life who are banding together and saying, we're not going to take this anymore. And women's rights are human rights. So I think, just being able to live compassionately and kindly as well is also a step in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I see it around me as well. I hear the stories of women, even any age, that they suddenly just break through a wall and say, okay, this is it. No more.
And you never know, someone's experience, who's next to you. Even, let's just say, in the yoga studio, everyone is a little bit isolated, on their mats, but you don't know the person, to the front of you or next to you or behind you, in terms of what's gotten them to their yoga practice today. So I think, keeping that in mind as well, even when we go about our daily life and who we come across, you really have no idea what someone's gone through or what someone's been through. So it's a nice reminder, especially if, little grievances occur along the way. It's right. They know just as much about me as I do about them.
Yeah. Sometimes people may look really happy or really great, but that's not really the case. They can feel maybe had a really horrible day and they don't want to talk, and people think they're rude, but actually they're just a bit of a fight.
Exactly.
And Souljourn Yoga, if I may ask. I still hear I hear myself twice. I hope this doesn't come. But what is your mission for the future, and how would you see Souljourn Yoga grow ideally?
So we are as well as doing retreats, which I think is a great introduction in terms of taking people, I would say predominantly from the West, to these destinations and places, be it Rwanda or Cambodia, or just kind of places that might not traditionally host, you know, the traditional yoga retreat, and kind of breaking that barrier. We're also in the works of developing our own on-the-ground programming with the girls and women. So for instance, this summer, I'm leading a teacher training immersion with our amazing organization, sister organization, Chimera. So it will be teaching their facilitators on how to lead a yoga class for their teen mom demographic, who that they support. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited that I get to be, you know, in Rwanda for at least 3 weeks. So that project is very much in the works, and, you know, we'll have some video and some footage in the fall about that. And then, you know, my whole purpose with this is to, you know, use yoga as a way of empowerment. So a long-term goal, knock on wood, maybe 5 years down the line, is to eventually start opening up our own satellite studios where, let's just say you, Michelle, you know, who's living in Malta, wants to come and do a yoga teacher training in Cambodia. We have a satellite studio set up so that when you sign up, a local woman is then given a scholarship so that she can attend the teacher training alongside with you. And then when you leave, you know, you have this knowledge and this new skill set, but she, being, you know, the Cambodian or Khmer woman on the ground, now has a new income, perhaps a new purpose, and a home studio that she can teach out of as well. So that's a long-term goal of mine, is just to continue to grow the vehicle of yoga.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. Because besides getting out of the situation, they also get new purpose they can work on. And from there on, they move on and actually have a bright future. Because getting into a community out of the situation is one, but then also you need to have some kind of purpose that keeps you moving and moving forward.
Yeah, and like, you know, not everyone is going to be a doctor or a lawyer, an engineer. So I also think being able to tap into, you know, different kinds of skill sets or jobs is also really important and realistic. I mean, it could be art, it could be, you know, music, it could be movement. You know, these are all things that, you know, I like to work with and I'm very passionate about, as well as writing. So, you know, who's to say that someone else shouldn't be given, you know, the same opportunity to explore these if it resonates.
Yeah. And I always there's a need for everyone's talent. So we get certain talents with us, and it would be a waste if we don't use them.
Absolutely.
Okay. How do I? So how would you say a day of yours looks like, or a week?
So, you know, I'm really blessed in that, you know, every day is a little bit different. You know, I don't have traditional office hours per se. Usually I wake up, I have a dog, her name is Maya. She's in California right now, staying with my mom as I was traveling. I'm going to pick her up. So usually Maya and I will go for coffee and go grab a walk. And then I work out of this really cool all-women's co-working space. So I'll go there for a couple of hours and, you know, get some work done or have some meetings or kind of run around the city if need be. And then we'll usually teach yoga either in the afternoon or in the evening as well. So that's when I'm grounded in New York. Otherwise, if I'm on retreat, I mean, it could be, you know, waking up and like going to Machu Picchu, or, you know, going to a sweat lodge, or, you know, going on a gorilla trek. But, you know, I feel very fortunate in that, you know, travel is such a big part of my existence, and that I'm able to go to all of these places and explore, because I agree, you know, I think travel is the best form of education.
Okay. Thank you so much. And but before we end this, could you give one last tip for people how to mindfully give service to the community? Maybe one tip on how to be more selfless and do more service.
I think, no action is too small. So it can be, doing something once a month. It could be doing something weekly. I think in terms of connecting to a cause or a purpose that really resonates with you is kind of the first step to living a mindful existence. And then from there, there's such a plethora of needs and causes in which, you will hopefully, have access to in terms of volunteering time or energy, or even just getting the word out. So I think it's just a matter of someone deciding like, oh, I feel really passionate about the environment or about animal rights or, about girls' education. So it's just kind of finding that and having that discovery. And then from there, just being able to give a little bit of time and energy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think that's really true. You have to start where maybe your interest is, and then you can expand it from there.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Michelle. It's been such an honor speaking with you. And
yeah, thank you. And for everyone who's watching, please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more upcoming videos. And thank you, Jordan. I wish you great luck with everything, and really, the world appreciates you for everything you do. So keep going, and I hope to speak to you again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.